some positive vibes. Life's more fun, so go with the day. Let the sunlight in, brighten up your day.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Positive Vibes. I'm your host, Not Slim One. Join with me this week, as always, is my co-host, the Iceman. I love that kind. Every week I've been introducing you as always, and every time I say that, I think of Wayne's World. You remember that?
Yeah, Wayne and
He's
Garth.
like, what am I, your little monkey boy? I mean, as always, it's Garth. Hey? So it's not like that, though.
No, I know that.
As with me, as always, is always the Iceman.
That's me.
What's up, bud?
Not too much, bud.
Oh, and we got Gizmo 2 in the mix. Totally. Oh, sorry, bud.
Don't touch hands. Don't touch hands. Okay, lay down.
Holy. Well, today on the show, we got a very special segment that I went on location to film, so I'm pretty excited to get to that later. But right now, as we're filming this, the time is approximately 9:15, 9:30 p.m. Oh, shit, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It is 10 p.m. on Monday, October 19th, 2015, and the federal elections for the country of Canada have come to a close, and the ballots are being assessed, and soon, by midnight, I believe, Eastern Standard Time, or maybe a little bit after, we got to wait for the West Coast to catch up, we should have a decision about who our new Prime Minister of Canada is.
That's right. And so far, it's on the East Coast anyways, it's starting to be a red tide, it looks like.
Liberty. Right?
Life and liberty. No, that's the liberals, bud.
The liberals.
The liberals.
All right, well, we're going to, the whole show is going to be politics except for whatever I say, because I don't know jack shit about politics. So before we get into the ticking, on today's show, I'm smoking some furry, streety kind buds. I rolled it into a little joint here. And I don't know. I don't have... The whole show's about politics, but everything I want to talk about is not politics. Because I don't know politics. Right?
That's right.
So, but we do have a segment with Pooner. We got him on the show.
Yeah,
I had to go to his place and...
We'll cut
precariously fucking stack the camera on some place the camera on some stacked boxes.
Yeah. Did you get a good?
Yeah,
time?
I had a bottle of water on the back corner of the box to keep it level and to stop it from swaying. It was like a counterweight.
Right on.
Dude, we're fucking professional fucking amateurs, bud.
That's bad.
How was your week, bud?
Not too well. Shit, today's only Monday.
Oh yeah,
I know. I did that
Monday
today
night,
too.
yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was near the end of the week.
We're shooting on a Monday night. I don't go into work tonight. I got the day off,
Yeah, you
so
got
that's
lucky
pretty
this
slick.
time, yeah. Today was the first day of my week. Turned out to be a pretty long one too.
I vegged all week and my weekend off here for like 4 days off. I totally vegged, and then at 7:30 I hit you up. I'm like, oh, I'm going to run to the store. I'll be back in a bit. And then for some reason, as soon as I said that and looked at the time, I realized I didn't even edit the vlog yet.
Nope.
So it's like 10 o'clock on a Monday night. Haven't even started editing a vlog yet. So as soon as we cut here, I'm going to go do that.
Yeah, that's going to be a late one for sure.
All right, enough bullshit banter from me. Let's get into the hard facts of life, okay? Iceman, you are a person who... We can talk about who you voted for and stuff?
Yeah, sure. I
Okay,
don't
so
care.
you are orange. You're NDP.
I voted NDP.
New or national?
The New
The
Democratic
New
Party.
Democratic Party. Taras Natashak.
They've only been new since 1961.
Okay. Okay, so tell us who you voted for and why you voted for them.
I voted. Well, honestly,
camera.
I'm gonna say right from the beginning that I really didn't feel there's any viable candidate this year. I don't think there's any good choice. But I do believe there is one bad choice, and I am really hoping to wake up tomorrow morning. By the time you guys see this, it'll be Wednesday, so it'll already have been done. I'm hoping to wake up tomorrow morning and not see blue on my TV screen.
That's okay. So our segment today is the opposite of that.
Yes.
Pooner's
Very
blue. He's
opposite.
conservative.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're trying to get him. He wants to do it so bad. It's just a schedule conflict that we're having all the time. He wants to come out on the show. We're going to get him on the show. I want to sit him right next to the Iceman, his Weird Al Yankovic t-shirt, and just fucking politic it up. Well, I think that it's going to be Hopefully we can get it done for next week, and then we can have like the aftermath.
Yeah.
And after it's been a week, everything's
kind of level down. But anyways, yeah. So I'm really hoping to not have a Stephen Harper government. I'm not 100% against any party. I'm not 100% for the NDP. I do believe the NDP. I've always believed that they fight for our class,
the NDP.
lower middle class in that area. They fight for the people who are in poverty. They always seems to be their goals all the time. The Liberals, they love to tax. The Conservatives, they love to cut and spend. But you can only cut and spend so far, right? Before you got to start retaxing. So it seems to have always been to me a circle. Liberal, conservative, back and forth. They cut and spend, they come back and retax. They cut and spend, they come back. So why not vote the NDP in? Give them a shot. It makes sense. Makes sense to me.
But if Canada's under the Queen's monarchy, what the fuck does all
I
this
don't
even
understand
fucking
this
matter?
Queen. There's no fucking monarchy anymore.
The Queen's on our money.
She's on our money, but we're not. She doesn't rule any part of Canada whatsoever. She has no say as to what goes on in this country.
I bet you if some shit went down.
She doesn't even have that in Britain anymore. She's
Okay,
just a
so what you're
figurehead.
saying basically is that you didn't vote for the Queen.
I did not vote for the Queen.
And not Stephen Harper.
And not Stephen Harper.
So you voted for Taras Nadeau.
Yeah, I voted. No, I didn't vote for. Well, I did when it was his turn.
Okay, who's the president of the NDP?
The leader of the NDP right now is Thomas Mulcair.
Oh yeah, healthcare, baby care, Mulcair. Fuck off with that guy.
I've never seen that. But yeah, he's the leader, and then the leader of the Liberals is Trudeau, who is the son of former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau.
Yeah.
And then Stephen Harper is...
And people don't like the blue, the conservative, Justin Trudeau, because Justin Trudeau is
liberal,
blue.
Liberal.
Justin Trudeau's red?
Yes.
I thought he was blue.
No, Stephen Harper's blue.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, man.
You got lost.
All right, I
again,
can't...
didn't you?
Okay, talk some more about why...
Well, I don't know.
Okay,
What was I just
I'll try
saying?
to ask you... I can't remember the questions I asked him, but I remember this one. What is one of the most prominent things that you paid attention to that made you vote for Orange, the NDP?
Honestly, this year I did not pay a lot of attention to this campaign. I probably should have. I usually do. I feel kind of bad that I didn't. But well, ever since I cut the cord with fucking satellite, I just don't get any news anymore, right?
Yeah, that's the thing when they're
So
not
I don't
shoving
pay
it down
attention.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
see it.
another.
I don't see it.
That's a good reason why I don't either.
I just voted on the way I've just always voted. And I still feel that regardless of what the different platforms are, the NDP are still going to be the ones that I feel have my interests in heart, our interests, our class of financial interests at heart.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's why I like the NDP. They always seem to be there.
All right, cool. I really can't agree or disagree because I don't really have an educated opinion about it.
Trudeau's kind of young, but I think if he does get in, I don't know. The Liberals have really fucked up Ontario. They've really fucked up our province, screwed us bad. But
what's one thing that they screwed us?
the hydro. Look at our fucking hydro rates.
I don't know anything about other provinces. Tell me about it.
Well, they're slamming these windmills down our throat everywhere, and we gotta fucking pay for them. We have all this energy that we can't use ourselves, so we're paying other provinces and we're paying the states to take some of the energy. We're paying them to take some of our energy. We're like, well, we can't get rid of it, and we can't store it, so you guys have to have some. So
why don't we just if we have so much energy, why don't we get cheaper energy?
Because it doesn't work that way, apparently. We got to pay for
But
the
that's the
windmills.
logical thing,
we're
right?
We're paying for the windmills.
Well, the rates were high before we had the fucking windmills.
And they went they just went up, actually, November 1st. Our rates are going up again.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
For fuck's sakes is right.
I can't do politics, man. It fucking pisses me off, man.
Yeah,
Everything's
I know.
all money.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what color you vote for. It's all about green. I guess in Canada, blue, purple, red, and brown, too.
That's right. We got all the colors. But yeah, Stephen Harper, the robot, I don't think we want him back in for sure.
He has a band.
He has a band. What are you talking about?
He's in a band. It's called the Vent 8 or some shit.
Is this serious?
I'm not even fucking around.
Holy shit.
Did some internet research today,
Oh my
bud.
God.
In the form of a John Oliver video.
That's some research. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it, eh?
So you want orange.
I'd like to see... Again, you know, there's no good choice this time around. If... You know, unfortunately, I think the best choice the NDP ever really had was Jack Layton, the previous leader who passed away from cancer a couple years ago. And when he was leader, that's when the NDP made huge gains in seats. But
so he was good.
He was awesome.
And he got cancer.
Yeah, and then he passed.
So being good gives you cancer.
Basically what happened was Harper got scared and infected him with cancer somehow.
Oh my God, that sounds like that shit that I saw in Straight Outta Compton. When, who was it, Suge Knight fucking stabbed Eazy-E with the AIDS needle and they gave him the beat down?
Well, see,
what is happening? Where are we living? I just want to make a TV show in my trailer park home and people are getting stabbed with cancer needles?
That's right, buddy. Fucking cancer
for politics.
Needles. That's right. To fucking keep power.
I gotta tell you,
to
the
keep
conversation...
The
the conversation that I had in the next segment went nothing like this.
I bet it didn't.
So, we've been running for about 10 minutes now. I think now is a good time to cut to the other segment, Iceman, because it's running a little bit long. A little, 15-minute segment. It's all Pooner's opinions about... excuse me. It's all Pooner's opinions about politics and why he voted Stephen Harper back in to be conservative, and it conflicts with the Iceman's idea, so I think that it's going to make for a great show, and we're going to get him here. We're going to get him here, and he's going to talk to you about politics, and then we're just going to talk politicking.
Yeah.
I guess. I never segued into a different segment. I've only done it once before. Yeah. Oh, we did cut the segment when Sorko was on the show.
Did we?
Yeah, because we had to set up for the thing, and I had to cut to it.
So, yeah, this will be the second time we've done it, I guess. Sorry, we lied. Fuck.
Please don't unsubscribe from the channel. Oh,
we don't generally lie to you.
All right, so let's cut to that segment then right now. This is me out in the field, talking politics with Pooner. This is Pooner Ticks. Take it away, Not Slim One. Thanks, Not Slim One at the studio. This is Not Slim One on location at the Poon's house. And I'm here to do some serious listening as Pooner gets into a new segment on the show called Poonatics.
Yeah, in response to the October 19th federal election, better late than never, but we do have some viewpoints here we should talk about, and why maybe the Conservatives aren't the big evil party that people portray them to be.
The microphone's way over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know anything about politics.
Yeah.
You voted today.
Yes, I did. I proudly voted. I waited in line behind some probably in their mid-80s old people. They were slow, but they voted. They exercised their right. The one guy was so old, didn't have a driver's license, so I had to provide another piece of ID.
Was it that purple citizenship card?
Actually, no, I think he brought his passport, and then he brought the voter's card, because it makes it easier when you're already pre-registered. This election's a pretty big deal, I think. There's a lot on the line for all Canadians.
What makes it a big deal that is paramount to you in your personal life right now?
Everyone talks about freedoms and how we're not free because of government and stuff, and I believe the biggest thing that's detrimental to our freedom is taxation.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I work a 40-hour-a-week job. They tax my paycheck every 2 weeks. And then what I net, I go and spend on shit, and they tax that too.
Yep.
Who's the people that I need to vote for that doesn't even want to do taxes anymore?
You'll never get away from taxes in any...
Taxes are bullshit.
Taxes are bullshit, but you have to look at what we have in Canada and what our taxes pay for. healthcare. Healthcare is number one thing that our taxes go to.
That is pretty slick.
Yeah, I do believe we do have free healthcare, although it may be flawed and it may not be the greatest healthcare, but it is free. We get cancer treatments for free. There's a lot of things that we do get through our healthcare system that is paid for by our taxes. So I do believe, as a society, taxation is necessary for some social requirements, such as healthcare, such as infrastructure. I don't know about you, but I hear about poor kids in Africa. They're dying for water to drink. We can poop and pee in it and flush it down the drain.
Yeah.
Because of infrastructure, because of something that, we're taxed on and we pay to use, but we work hard for that luxury, I think, and but
I guess when you're used to just always having it and not ever being a product of not having it, you can take it for maybe advantage and then not think about that. Take it into consideration when you're trying to make important decisions.
Everything. There's a whole process into this. Like, you don't just. It's not just a free ride. Like, money has to come from somewhere. But on the other hand, when they want to tax me on things as petty or as what people believe, climate change, we need to be taxed to help curb climate change.
What's the carbon tax?
Carbon tax
everything is carbon based.
Everything is carbon based.
That sounds retarded to me.
It is retarded.
What is it?
A carbon tax is a tax on everything. What they believe is carbon is the cause of, like, CO2 emissions is the cause of global warming. This is what they've been saying. They've said in the 1970s that we'd all be underwater by now, and we're not. They said by now the polar ice caps would all be melted. They're not. Climate change, I'm not a full believer in. I believe that the Earth was here long before us. It's going to be here long after us. And I think Canada has done more than enough of its fair share when it comes to emissions and stuff like that, and trying to keep a sustainable environment. I don't think being taxed money from my paycheck on my fuel I put in my car, on my hydro that is already the highest hydro in the country, I don't believe I should be taxed further for carbon emissions when Canada accounts for less than 0.5% of all carbon emissions. When you have countries that, like China, that
I don't want to. It always blows my mind. Numbers really quickly, if I may divert for a second. It always blows my mind that the entire population of our country is less than that of the state of California. Isn't that fucking crazy?
It's crazy.
I think our population is like 37 million, and California is like 38 million or something close to that.
Look at it this way.
No wonder places in the States are fucking crazy. Could you imagine having everybody in Canada living in Toronto? I mean, the GTA, I guess, makes up like almost 80% of the population.
I don't know the actual numbers, but in contrast, Ontario holds the most population of all of Canada, and most of that being in and around the GTA for sure. That's another issue that comes to hand when it comes to election times and voting. You got a whole center of the population in one area that have these beliefs that may be good for them, but it's really not good for everybody else.
Yeah, like a utopia is unobtainable because you can't make all of the people happy all of the time.
Exactly, for sure, definitely.
All right, well, so do you want to share who you voted for and why?
I voted for Stephen Harper.
And that's like socially for people that don't pay attention to politics, and maybe even a lot who do. He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy, yes.
But you showed me an article today on the internet, and the last thing that I read, because I don't follow it, so I skimmed it really quick, but the last thing that I read was that even though, I'm paraphrasing here, but even though the NDP is evil, they do push aside some of their ideals in order to be a little more progressive. But I don't know what to work on.
You mean the conservatives. You're talking about the conservatives.
Oh, did you send me a link about Justin Trudeau? I'm always getting off topic, man. Please,
Sorry.
let me stop. Tell me about who you voted for and why.
I voted for the Conservative Party of Canada. I voted for Stephen Harper. I voted for Jeff Watson, our Member of Parliament. He's been our Member of Parliament since 1997. He was in his mid-20s when he was first elected to be a Member of Parliament.
He was the first auto worker in Parliament.
In Parliament, yes. He was from unions. He was a union member. He got into politics at a young age.
26.
26 years old, that's correct. He's been elected 4 times. This would be his 5th election. If he's re-elected, it'll be his 5th term.
And that's 10 years.
When it comes to federal money, in other words, our money being handed back to our area, Jeff Watson has brought more investment into our area under the Conservatives than anyone ever before him in our area. And that he represents just Essex, the Essex riding. He's done things that have benefited all the areas, including Essex, involved in as well as Windsor. 2008, the bailouts of Chrysler and GM, because of not necessarily Jeff Watson, but because of the Conservatives in how would I say that word? In conjunction with the Ontario government at the time, did provide money to bail out Chryslers and GMs. We have the Windsor Assembly Plant in Windsor. It assembles the Dodge Caravan, the Chrysler Town and Country minivans. If you haven't seen one, you live under a rock. But because of those,
we do the caravans.
Because of those loans provided by our government, unpopular at the time as it was, it saved well over 10,000 jobs just in our area, and God only knows how many jobs throughout Ontario. We also assemble the Chargers, Challengers, and the Chrysler 300s in Brampton. And those jobs would have been lost too if Chrysler went under. So the Conservative government decided that, yeah, we need to help these companies out, bail them out. In contrast to that, the NDP, which is very popular in our area, they're very union friendly. Their party voted against those very bailouts that saved our area and saved thousands of unionized auto worker jobs. So for the life of me, I can't figure out why a bunch of unionized people would even consider the NDP for a vote after they voted down their jobs, essentially giving Ontario the middle finger when it comes to our employment and our good-paying unionized auto sector jobs.
The NDP did that?
The NDP voted down something that basically saved our area. If Windsor Assembly Plant closed, Windsor would be a ghost town. There's 5,000 people almost employed there.
Yeah, for sure. What's the city's population?
I don't know, I think it's like a little over somewhere around 250, 300,000, something like that.
200,000.
Yeah, so to have 4,000 to 5,000 high-paying union jobs disappear, not to mention all the feeder plants, all the sub-assembly plants, the seat plant in Windsor, all those plants that feed Windsor Assembly to build these vans would have lost a good portion of their work, and a lot of people would have lost jobs. So for a party to be saying they're friendly to the unions and the Unifor and the auto workers, but yet they voted against the bailouts that saved all these jobs, it just seems a little ironic. It's like...
It doesn't seem ironic, it sounds hypocritical.
It does sound hypocritical. But yet the anti-union, big bad Conservative government stepped aside, and Stephen Harper himself called Windsor Mayor Eddie Francis at the time on his phone, his personal cell phone, and said, look, we're with you. We're going to do what we can to make sure Windsor doesn't lose this plant, doesn't lose this company as an employer.
Harper did that.
Harper did that.
All right, man. Well, so it sounds like you voted Conservative for Harper because he kept Watson as the representative of the Conservatives here.
Yeah.
So you vote for Jeff Watson, and then when the majority wins, because we in Canada don't get to vote for our Prime Minister. We all vote for, we elect officials.
A member, yeah.
We elect a member of the party to represent our area, and then the majority all over the country.
Yeah, whatever party wins the most seats.
In the country.
In the country.
And everybody's voting today.
Yes. Everybody in Canada is voting. Yeah. Correct.
That's crazy, man.
I just, there's so much you can't, to touch on the issues in 10 minutes.
Well, I think we've definitely been going for more than 10 minutes. I'm going to take a look real fast because I do what I want. Cool. No, it's fine. And, I want to spend just another minute because you're going to now that we're doing this, are you having fun right now?
Yeah, for sure.
I know that you have been saying yes, but our schedules have been conflicting.
Yeah.
But you definitely want to come and do
Yeah.
the show
I just-
maybe and talk. Now, the next time that you'll have the opportunity to be on the show, the elections will be over. Right now, as this is being filmed, it's
Oh, yeah, the
it's
elections are.
the elections are
Over.
over in about 45
Yeah,
minutes.
9:30.
And I didn't vote because I figured an uneducated vote is
Is just as bad
just as bad as
as
not
not
voting.
voting at all. Yeah. No, I
So I
believe-
didn't vote
The
because I was
biggest, the
uneducated.
biggest issue we have is everybody's voting for these liberals, the federal Liberal Party of Canada, and they very could possibly win tonight. I mean, I won for myself. Hope they don't. My paycheck and my wallet would really appreciate a not liberal government. My big thing with the Liberals is Ontario is becoming the most expensive place to live. We have the highest hydro rates, all because of poor thought out policies brought on by the provincial Liberals. I believe if a party for our province has that much disregard for its people and its taxpayers, I believe that the federal party would only treat us even worse. People say, oh, you know, Justin Trudeau is going to legalize pot.
Let's touch on that because we're going to draw to the end of the segment. So it is an important thing.
Yeah.
Smoke weed on positive vibes. So let's shift gears for another minute or two before we say goodbye here. Thank you very much for doing this. I know that
No,
we're
it's
homies and everything,
yeah.
but professionally for this, like,
Yeah. No, it's cool.
right?
No.
Okay, so let's talk then for like another minute or two
Yeah.
about what you think about the weed thing and the politics behind that. And I don't know nothing about it.
Okay. No, where I'm at with the whole Justin Trudeau says he's going to legalize pot, I believe Stephen Harper's stance on pot is ridiculous. It's archaic. His stance on pot
He thinks that weed is worse than tobacco.
Yes, and I do not agree with that. You know what? It's a conservative value. You know what? To say he's pro-pot, he probably would have alienated a lot of his conservative voters. I think his whole thing on pot, he should have just kept his mouth shut.
Instead of saying that it's bad, he shouldn't have said anything.
Shouldn't have said anything at all. I don't believe that legalizing weed is way anywhere near a big enough election issue. And Justin Trudeau, who, you know, we got to understand where this guy's come from. He's never had to work a hard day in his life. He don't know what the middle class is. He has no idea what it's like to struggle, to make resumes, to look for a job.
Well, his dad was super
He drives
smart.
around
He's
in a
kinda
yeah. His dad was a prime minister. He's riding the coattails of his father. His father went on as the worst prime minister ever. We need to keep that in mind. But so he's decided.
Pierre Trudeau.
Yes. So we have decided that Justin Trudeau now could potentially be the next prime minister of this country. His only real job he's ever had, he was a part-time drama teacher. He taught surfing or whitewater rafting or some fucking bullshit thing. And, you know, so he says, oh, I'll legalize pot. You know why he said that? Because he is trying to grab votes from any avenue he can. And if you can get one stoner to listen to something like that for 1 second, he will vote for you simply because of one issue. And he has no clue why he's voting other than you might legalize pot. And to me, that is the worst possible thing for society, to drum up a bunch of uneducated voters. That's exactly what happened there. You know, and it's just it's a scary thing to think about. When they talk about imposing carbon taxes, they talk about raising EI deductions off our paycheck. They talk about raising CPP deductions off our paycheck.
Just retirement?
Yeah, which is fine. I'm all for, you know, saving a little bit of money for when I'm too old to work, but I don't want them taking more of my money away and me seeing less of it. When it comes to Canada Pension or any government-ran pension plan, we are better off to take that percentage and store it away for ourselves, and our workplace store away the percentage they have to pay for us versus letting the government handle it for us.
So that we can buy more weed.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Save
but
more
the
money.
payoffs would be bigger for us if we saved the money ourselves. If we were told to save money,
What about what if it was the weed was legal and then it was taxed exactly like cigarettes and shit like that?
I would.
And it was just bunk weed that the government sold in the
I-
supermarket like
Yeah, see,
cigarettes,
I don't-
and then the black market floods with bullshit like Indian cigarettes.
Personally, if they legalize dope, you know where I'm going to buy my dope from? Whoever has it cheapest, whoever has the best quality, and whoever the fuck ain't charging me tax on it, because I already pay too much tax.
Well, right now, through my licensed producer, I'm registered with a dispensary in Toronto called Can Do. all of their weed is $8 a gram across the board, no tax, and it's $15 to ship it anywhere in Canada.
That's reasonable.
That's good.
That's reasonable.
And if you get an ounce, it's like $224 for an ounce. And around here on the street, an ounce is like $280 right now.
Yeah, sometimes depending on where you're getting it from, for sure.
So.
Good quality, minimum $220. So,
Mm-hmm.
But
So you think that the issue of weed is not
a big
even
enough,
though it's important because everybody gets high and everybody wants to see it legal because that's what we do. It's not an issue of importance that should be addressed at the forefront of Trudeau's argument. He should be talking about more important things.
Yes,
instead of trying to grab these stoner votes. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I believe there's way bigger issues pressing Canada. Fucking terrorists, ISIS and all that shit. We got way bigger things, and pot to me is not a big issue. And drumming up an uneducated vote just shows how desperate they are to try and run this country the way they believe it should be ran. I believe that government should not be running deficits. I believe government should be running balanced budgets. If we ran our own households like the government of Justin Trudeau is implying that he should run the government, we would all be bankrupt and we'd be living in boxes. It's not acceptable, and that's where I'm at.
I want you to come back and talk more on the show next week.
For sure.
Because we did a whole show just now.
Yeah, no, probably.
I love it. All right, well, thank you
it.
for letting me come to your house on location for the first time ever. It's a monumental thing, this whole... first time politics, first time on location for Positive Vibes.
No, man, I feel
first time I talked about politics for 20 minutes.
I believe if people were more educated, we would definitely have a better society. We would definitely have a government that treated us with more respect if people were more educated on what they were voting for. And
well, you should come and talk on the show as often as you can and educate the people that watch this show because I'm sure that they would watch it.
Most of them are probably all anti-Harper, probably like, oh, this guy's a dick.
A lot of them are Americans.
Oh, perfect.
Right?
Good. Well, hey, if you're a Republican, that's what the Conservatives are. Conservatives in Canada would be the equivalent of your Republicans. If you're a Democrat, fuck off.
Okay, thanks for being on the show. That's it for Poonatics, I guess. We'll figure out the segment name maybe later. It might not be Poonatics. Back to you in the studio, Not Slim One and Iceman. Peace. Thanks, Not Slim One on location. That was, I remember doing that, man, and we sat there, and he talked about a lot of stuff, and in this moment, I got to rewatch the footage to remember what he said, but I got to tell you, everything that he said to me about conservatives, he explained it in a manner that I understood, which sometimes can be difficult for me because I'm ridiculous. Yeah. And also, the things that he said, I'm taking them as truth, were pretty good. He said some pretty good things about conservatives.
Okay, but let's look at it this way. Each party all has something good that they're trying to offer. But each party also has something bad that's in behind the scenes that they don't want you to know about. That's just the way it works.
Well, don't try to see the man behind the curtain, Ice, or you're
exactly.
Gonna be,
that's what it is. It's the man behind the curtain. Yep.
You can't deal with
that.
So anyway, I hope that you liked this episode of fucking Positive Vibes. I hope that you liked the segment with Pooner. Like I've said a couple times, we're going to get him back on the show. We're going to get him on the show. Yeah, actually, and, I always got homies that want to come out and be on the show, but then they're all like, oh, well, I can't. Yeah. All of a sudden, everything else is happening.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So that's okay, though. I understand. I'm coming to you guys.
That's right. We bring it to you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Positive Vibes. I'm your host, Not Slim One. As with me always is Garth. Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth. He's singing with you. All right.
Peace.